We already have a fractured front office midway through the draft here.
This is. Alex Guerrero will be in this building constantly.
His key card works everywhere in the building. Are we locking certain rooms off to him? Oh no!
All access. Hey-o, welcome to Heed the Call, an NFL podcast. Little Summerall hesitation there for those who know. Dan Hanzus, Marc Sessler, it's our thing. Conor Orr, wearing his Army sweatshirt, so I'll call you First Lieutenant. Is that a high rank? Seems good. Major Dad, Craig T. Nelson? No, the other guy. What?
Lower rank.
And joining us, patiently waiting his turn, Bill Barnwell from ESPN. What's up, Bill? Welcome back.
There's a man down, and Bill Barnwell is here to sub in for that man. Unfortunately, he's not as good as that man, but we're going to do our best. Always excited to be here, guys. Always. Are there any other Summerallisms that you feel like have stuck around all the time? I feel like there's a man down that stuck with me from the Madden days for many years.
There's a man down. Yeah, that was a good one.
There's a man down.
The ones I remember the most, which is, Madden got, the shine, but like I remember so many of the Maddenisms from the old game, like, boom, where'd that truck come from? But Pat, I'm sure Pat got the bag for that too. I wonder what the disparity in pay was between Summerall and Madden for those Madden.
Oh, I would imagine that was not gratis. That was a paid gig, I would like to think.
Do you think that like another video game company came to him and it was like, hey, you want to do Summerall 97?
Oh, shit.
You can split off.
Oh, I love that. Competing video games at the highest level of the market. Love it. But that's not Summerall style.
Strictly out of announcer vibes.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. So, why is Bill Barnwell here? He is one of the most respected voices in professional football coverage. We love him. That's why he's our regular guest. We love going on the Bill Barnwell show and chopping it up. And one of the things I love about Bill's work is how thorough it is and how well thought out all of his columns are at ESPN.com. And you wrote a double banger. I mean, I'd love to know the word count altogether. NFL free agency 2026, best players available on offense, and then you did a best players available on defense. And what I was thinking, Bill, we're going to do here is using Bill as our research notes, but also going off our own thoughts on the situation. We're going to build the perfect free agency team. Perfect. Bill, how do you feel about that? What do you think about this challenge 1 to 10? Are we biting off more than we can chew? Or are we leaving out something that's going to make this not work? We've never done it before. Salary cap is an example. Don't care. Just building the perfect team.
Now you're going to see a perfect team here on Heed the Call. 13,500 words, by the way, was the word count.
13.5.
Wow.
13.5. I'm excited. I have not approached it this way before, and I think there's a really good year to do it because there are a couple positions where there's an obvious player, but in a lot of spots, I feel like there are credible cases to be made for a lot of different people as the best available free agent.
Okay. So with that set, we're going to take turns nominating players for the position. And then the other three voices in the room will then chime in either, with a dissenting opinion or maybe you agree. And I just want to put one rule change in for this. If a person here we go, Conor, pay attention. Tell me what you think about this one. If it's your turn to nominate.
Head swimming.
And the other, let's say Conor. Rule change. Let's say Conor nominates, I don't know. Let's go with Marcus Mariota as the starting quarterback of this team for like some type of Conor reason that he really believes in, and it shows that's why Conor's special.
Yeah.
In so many ways. If Dan, Bill, and Mark all say, "What are you talking about?"
Conor just says crazy stuff.
we'll go, and we come down on the same player. Conor's overruled. Otherwise, though, if it's a split vote, the person who nominates carries the day. Everybody clear on the rules?
Yes. Contrarian or could go Mariota if it went 2-2 there. Sure.
Yeah.
Democracy Dan. Yeah. Another one here. Yeah.
Speaking of which, check out the latest issue of Silver Horses on the Patreon exclusive, where Mark dives into very spirited opinions on the Middle East situation.
Well, someone does. It's not myself, but it's someone attached to the Patreon. So.
Very supportive.
I'm shocked you used the actual name of the publication. That's a first for this show, so I appreciate that.
We're a little deep into the navel-gazing lore with a guest here, so let's steer right back where we need to be. Bill's like, what the f*** are they talking about?
It's like we're 8 minutes into this.
I'll get us going, okay? And we want to get all 22, so let's move pretty quickly if we can. Quarterbacks. And as Bill pointed out in his column, this isn't a year with a franchise quarterback. We might not even have a true Pro Bowl guy, although Joe Flacco, congratulations, Sessy, did get the Pro Bowl games invite last year.
That's true.
Good job by you. But I have to nominate one starting quarterback, and this is a difficult one because it's a big group of guys, and I'll just throw out some options. Daniel Jones is not technically a free agent, so we're going to take him out of the mix, right?
Oh.
Tua is not yet cut, right? But are we going to count Tua and Kyler? Do we want to have this conversation real quick?
I think we should.
I would.
Right.
They're going to
Let's
be
put
free
them in the
agents.
conversation. Okay. So let me go this way. I will go with Kyler Murray as the nomination as our quarterback. I think, and what the hell, I know that we're not holding ourselves to a salary cap, but I think part of his appeal is that if you can get him on a prove-it year, on a league minimum deal, you just take a look and you see what's going on. You see if you can do something that the Arizona Cardinals couldn't. The Arizona Cardinals, there's a lot that the Cardinals cannot do organizationally. So I'm going to nominate Kyler as our QB. I'll throw it to the group now. If anybody else has someone they want to suggest otherwise, I could be swayed in my opinion or outright vetoed. Bill, start us.
There's going to be no veto here because I agree with you, Dan, on Kyler Murray. He would have been my pick as well. The salary does matter. I mean, the difference between paying Kyler Murray $1.5 million and paying Malik Willis $30 million a year, that's really significant. I don't know that you're getting a worse quarterback and you're paying less for the privilege of doing so. And I know that there's this frustration about Kyler Murray. There's this sort of idea that he doesn't do enough, that he's not committed enough to football. I mean, I think that's a little overstated. There's just not anyone else to me in this tier who can win you games on his own. There are guys who can be totally fine point guards. I think Tua is a good example. There's the Joe Flacco's, the Kirk Cousins of the world, the sort of like solid hands who have seen every defense. But like Kyler is an actual game changer. Now, he's not going to do that for 17 games. He might get hurt. He might have a 3-interception game. He might be sloppy for 3 quarters. The inconsistency is real. But I just think there are so many teams who at that price tag would be thrilled and should be thrilled to have Kyler Murray as their starting quarterback.
I think it also allows you to bridge to next year's draft if you want to do that. It just kind of works for some of these teams staring at a quarterback need, but also looking at the off seasons ahead. So I'm with you. Price is a big thing to do it. If you hit on Malik Willis and it happens and he's this quarterback we've seen under LaFleur, that will look like the big winner a number of years from now, obviously. But that is a question mark for the right coaching staff.
I would have gone with Kirk Cousins, but I think, I mean, it's going to be a fully guaranteed deal. It's going to be short term, but like Bill said, I think we see the benefit now more than ever of the short term benefit of a quarterback who's seen every defense, who's not intimidated by different looks, who can get rid of the ball quickly. And while durability is certainly an issue with Kirk Cousins as it is with Kyler Murray, we're looking to build something that is theoretically something that we can pass on and be a little bit more sustainable. And so, I don't know. I like the idea of just planting Kirk Cousins in there, knowing what I'm going to get versus hoping that I get the best out of Kyler Murray.
All right. Old magnanimous Zeuser has decided to stick with Kyler as the starter, but Kirk Cousins is coming in as our backup quarterback.
Okay.
Good locker room guy.
Just water for me, but if it was the off season, I would definitely join them in having a Roy Rogers. It's my favorite beverage, a Roy Rogers.
Yeah,
It's the
no
best
Roy
beverage there
Rogers
is.
on our team. We will not have a Roy Rogers fountain. It might hurt us in our players union survey to not serve a Roy Rogers, but that's in deference to the great veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Okay. Running back, Bill, nominate.
Okay. I'm going to throw a running back I don't believe other people will have here. I'm going to say Kenneth Gainwell. Because
Hell
we're calling
yeah.
him Kenneth now. We're not going Kenny.
Ooh.
He's a grown-up. We're calling him Kenneth Gainwell.
Nice.
I
baby.
really was impressed with what I saw from him last year. Obviously, we always known he's been able to catch the football. He's been a good receiving back in Philadelphia. He was the second option about 95% of the time he was on the field for the Steelers, where if Aaron Rodgers did not see DK Metcalf open or one of his 87 tight ends open, read 2 was Kenny Gainwell on the check down, on the swing screen, and he got the most out of those catches. And then 6th in the NFL last year in success rate among backs with 100 carries or more. So an efficient runner, a good gap scheme runner. A lot of his runs came on duo, on counter, on power, on stuff that is really becoming more and more the meta in the NFL. And so there's this perception that he's a scat back, and maybe he isn't going to be a 300 carry a year guy, but I think the wider swath of skills appeals to me, the full breadth of what he can do as opposed to Kenneth Walker, where I think Kenneth Walker's a better pure runner, but I think the receiving game, the blocking game, I think Kenneth Gainwell might be the better player.
I love this. I have a free agency dream scenario coming out tomorrow for SI, and I have Kenny Gainwell to the Chiefs. I love that it's like almost like a Jerick McKinnon plus for Patrick Mahomes, and I love what he did. You know, you could make the case that he was the MVP of the Steelers last year. I mean, he bailed them out of the most.
They voted him team MVP last year.
Yeah.
So the team did.
Yeah, I love this pick. I mean, I think that, you know, Kenneth Walker is your obvious one that's just sitting there, but like going to cost an arm and a leg, was spelled, by another A+ running back, a great scheme, like everything, a lot of things that benefited him. Whereas Gainwell, I think we saw him excel in different situations that didn't necessarily prop him up over the years.
It's a super creative answer, and I like the way you described it. I'm
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
I have a fascination.
Go ahead.
Because when I look at this list, I see a breakout bowling ball candidate who, in a league where you have to pair runners together, he is the perfect complement, who could be a running back one, and that is Tyler Algier. This is my dude. I love him.
He's your dude. I like the pick too. And here's more good news. Bill, I would like you to pair Gainwell with a running back. We're going to use the multi-prong approach like many teams out there. And if Algier floats your boat, maybe we could pair them up.
Ooh. So I'm okay with Algier. I think people see him as a 1B, forgetting that he was a 1,000-yard runner for the Falcons as a rookie before they drafted Bijan Robinson. And he was an effective runner in doing so. He can also catch the football. He has not fumbled once as a pro, which is a big plus. I am totally fine with our Kenny Gainwell, Tyler Algier backfield. Although, do we need to come up with a more refined, because we're changing Kenny to Kenneth. Is there like a more refined Tyler?
Do we have an option? What is there? Is it shortened for something? Like,
Mr. T.
Tyleek?
let's see. Let me look this up. Tyler Algier. Tough name to spell, by the way, Mark. I got to hold that.
The last name is bothersome if you're a typist.
Points have to be docked. Let's see his full name. Maybe we could do that thing where you use his middle name instead.
Oh yeah,
No,
that's a good
I don't
point.
see one. I don't see one.
No middle name.
Let me check Pro
You know
Football
what?
Reference. Let me make
that's
sure.
efficient.
Pro Football Reference probably
He wants
has
to get
like an
straight
unknown
into the
nickname
hole.
for him.
Yes, they're known for that. All right, let's see. Tyler Algier. Yeah, doesn't seem like he has a middle name. Anybody else not have a middle name on this conversation right
Oh,
now?
I've got a middle name.
No, I have one.
Okay. Conor keeps it silent. Must mean something he's sensitive about. That's okay.
It's Thomas. What do you need to know?
Oh, okay. All right.
I will say Algier is a Bavarian name, according to the Deseret News in 2019.
Oh.
A Bavarian name with roots in Old German.
He runs like a Bavarian.
The Bavarian Basher. Especially with like what is it, Sonic and Knuckles or whatever. We lost that great nickname pairing. Maybe we could come up with something new. All right, let's move to that's good. We're off to a great start, I think. Wide receiver, Marc Sessler. Give us one. We'll do one each here.
Sure. I think the perfect short-term solution for a team like the Niners or the Chargers is Mike Evans. I know there were injuries last year. He's 33, but he can do everything you'd ask a wide receiver to do. He was healthy at the end of the year and destroyed the Falcons in one game. Like, I still think he's got it. I think you put him on a San Francisco type roster and he's production right away. And he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I like a bunch of other guys on this list, but I'm starting there.
Okay, Conor.
I love this. Mike Evans was my pick, and I was actually just trying to figure out. So, I mean, Mike Evans, I would venture to say, is the most dominant man coverage receiver in the league, and certainly in this free agency. And so if you're looking at a situation where you have Kyler Murray as your starting quarterback, who fares well traditionally against the zone, is he a veteran enough to start doing what Stafford does, right? Which is, you're so good against the zone that you're going to start forcing teams to play a little bit more man coverage. Can we force the defense to play advantageous against Mike Evans? I love Mike Evans. He's one of my favorite players in free agency. I think he's going to be able to bail Murray out of big situations, and I love this. Sessdog nailed it.
All right, let me go with a field stretcher here. Just because the Colts couldn't figure out how to do this the right way, so Alec Pierce is there for the taking. Let's grab the 25-year-old coming off a 1,000-yard season, second in the league at 21.3 yards per catch, a field stretcher, a guy that's a big play machine. And if Evans is a step slower at this point and is reduced to being just a really solid veteran possession receiver type, although he was still making downfield plays last year when he was on the field, I think Pierce complements him well, Bill.
Yeah, and you know, the guy who comes to mind for me here in terms of the numbers is Deshaun Jackson. Like how many players have averaged more than 20 yards a catch in consecutive years? I mean, that's just not something you see in the modern NFL. And I think you saw last year with really all the Colts receivers kind of trending up, even Jonathan Taylor trending up, was just how difficult their situation was with Anthony Richardson, with the non-Daniel Jones quarterbacks, and what an upgrade it was to have just a ambulatory, getting the ball in vague range of where you are level quarterback. And so I think it's always tough to look at wide receivers and project them to be the same player on a new team just because of the circumstances and how they change. And, you know, usually you're adding players from good teams and sort of sending them to bad teams. This could be the opposite. This could be a situation where Alec Pierce moves to a more pass-friendly offense, like the offense we might be running with Kyler Murray as our quarterback and Mike Evans as our wide receiver one. And he might be better in that offense because he has better quarterback play, because he's in a more pass-friendly offense. Like, there are reasons to think there's still some meat on the bone here when it comes to improving.
All right, Conor, we have a 6'5" Mike Evans. We got 6'3" Alec Pierce. Let's round out this wide receiver group and give our team a little bit of balance.
It's Shirley Temple.
So
no Shirley Temples during the season, Mark. Backup quarterback.
I'm struggling here because we need a slot. I mean, both Mike Evans and Alec Pierce play a majority of their snaps on the outside. But, if we're going by best team, I'd wonder. I mean, Romeo Doubs played all of his snaps out wide, or majority of his snaps. I think it was like a 700 to 100 ratio with Green Bay last year out wide. But is he flexible enough to fit into that slot role for us? Because I just like him better. I can count on him more than like Wan'Dale Robinson. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson schematically might be the guy that you slide into that wide receiver 3, but Doubs is one where I'd be like, you've had to be in this amoebic wide receiver core before. Are you flexible enough? Are you talented enough to just slide into that slot role for us?
What's your choice?
Yeah, I'm confused. Are you taking Doubs? It seemed like you were saying you weren't going to take Doubs.
I'm going to take Doubs.
All right, Justin has another option here too.
He's got a great option.
Yeah.
This is This is based on a recent news report, so it all ties in. A great show we're doing here today. Good job,
pat
everybody.
Yourself on the back, Justin.
No, for you. Good,
we'll take that on post. Go ahead.
The Seahawks apparently are not going to be able to work out a deal, or they're going to or he wants to test free agency. Rashid Shaheed, who is a difference maker not only in the receiving game, but also obviously in the return game. Does he fit into this slot role?
Counter. Kyler Murray has one of the worst EPA per play for quarterbacks throwing deep downfield. Does Shaheed function in this offense other than window dressing and taking the top off of the defense? I don't know.
Ooh.
That's fair. That's fair to point out. I
just wonder, do we not test enough stuff? I feel like you can test free agency, But like, are you like, oh, I'm going to test this restaurant and see if it's any good? I'm going to test this movie. It just feels like we need to test more things than free agency.
Marriage.
I think we do.
Yeah.
You pointed out too about Shaheed, obviously an exciting player, tremendous special teams player, averaged just over 22 yards per game receiving.
Yeah.
After the Seattle trade, which might surprise people who thought that maybe he had a bigger role in the offense. He was a huge difference maker for them. That's the only thing. He's still kind of an unproven entity, but maybe a good flyer. I don't know. Let's have Bill break the tie here with the third. I understand that, and understand that Conor will hold this against you if you disagree with him, but you're our guest. So Rashid Shaheed versus, what was it?
Romeo Doubs.
Romeo Doubs. Oh boy, be careful.
I am gonna unfortunately lean into the Romeo Doubs of it all.
Yeah,
I just
baby!
think
That's good.
you are
better for
moving
all of
to
us.
a pass happy offense, or more pass happy offense. Packers are a very run heavy offense. He's been consistently effective. He's been on the field more often than Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed to me is a better player in certain offenses. I don't think this is going to be that offense though.
So the only issue is we have no kicker punt returner. So we just have to make sure that we never cause problems with our defense.
This
is our
offense ain't punting, baby.
Yeah, we'll send the Bavarian Basher back there.
Okay.
Just have him run right into the
That's
crowd.
testing some things.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit tight end. Let's see. Kyle Pitts off the market, of course. He got the franchise tag. I guess it's back to me. You know where I'm going on this one, Sessy. You know where you would go, I think, and I think Bill will disagree with this because I was surprised where he had him listed in his tiers for tight ends. I like that David Njoku. I think there's another level to David Njoku's game. And I think in the right offense, this offense specifically, David Njoku has a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, second-team tier level season in his giant bones. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Can I actually, Njoku is a favorite, but the way that I want to operate as a front office signing younger players on the rise, I would go Isaiah Likely.
Ooh, yes.
I would go Isaiah Likely, who's been stuck behind Mark Andrews. It's just like my Tyler Algier thing, a breakout candidate who is just who needs that 1A role, and he'd get it in this offense.
I'm with Mark here. Isaiah Likely was the guy who came to mind for me. We're starting from scratch. We want young players who the fans are going to get behind. David Njoku had 293 receiving yards in 12 games last year. He averaged 8 yards a catch the year before. He's going to turn 30 this year. I think we have seen the best of David Njoku. I just don't see a lot of tight ends who get better as they turn 30.
He'll show you. He'll show all of you. All right.
Connor?
I'm not surprisingly going to disagree with all of you. I want Charlie Kohler here. I want the best run blocking tight end that's available in free agency because I already am happy with, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't throw your tight end the ball here, but we're trying to create kind of a downhill running scheme.
Yeah.
Kohler's the best run blocking tight end available in free agency. And I just think he hasn't gotten a lot of like high volume receiving reps with that Ravens offense. I think he's functional as a pass catcher, and I just think he's going to bail out our offensive line. We're going to have a hard time, I think, putting together two tackles that we love. So Kohler is someone that's going to bolster you on one side or the other of the offensive line too.
All right. I'm very happy because that means it's not unanimous, which means I have the power. I hold the hammer here. Little callback. If you want Isaiah Likely on your team, first of all, we're acting like if he only can get a chance with like a real setup. He just had Lamar Jackson as his quarterback for most of his time in Baltimore.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
but
want
now
a
we'd
guy,
have Kyler Murray. So,
Yes.
if you want a
sky's the
guy who's
limit.
gonna, his back, right toenail will come down out of bounds to rip your heart out, or some type of freakish thing will happen to burn you in a big spot. Isaiah Likely's your tight end. But you know what? I'm sticking with Njoku, and I don't care what you guys say because he has greatness inside him, and I will be vindicated. Now that my Sam Darnold, I can get off that hill now. I am climbing Njoku Mountain, and I will be watching everyone as everyone tries to they start shimmying up the mountain as the season goes along. If he lands in a good setup, watch out. I like this setup. Njoku is our tight end.
We already have a fractured front office midway through the draft here.
This is Alex Guerrero will be in this building
Oh,
constantly.
He's got an office in the building.
Oh no.
All right. Okay.
His key card works everywhere in the building. Are we
Everywhere.
locking certain rooms off to him? Oh no.
All access. All access. All right. Offensive line. Bill, anchor this for us. Why don't you just roll through a line for us?
A whole line.
Yeah, just roll through it.
Oh my God. Gosh, the power. If I had known, I would have given you guys all the skill position spots.
I was gonna say.
Okay, left tackle's easy. There's one available. It's Rasheed Walker of the Packers, and I sort of wonder
like him.
if we're I don't know that I even like him that much, but there's not really anyone else I trust to play left tackle at the NFL unless I'm forgetting somebody.
Let me rephrase that. In your column, you wrote you like him to get paid in this market.
Yes, he will get paid because a lot of teams need left tackles, and he's the only one available. I sort of wonder if we're like, how can I put this nicely? If we're overthinking it, maybe. I think there's a lot of skepticism around Walker. He's not a great left tackle. I think he's an okay left tackle, but he's a 3-year starter in Green Bay. We just saw Dan Moore, who's a below average left tackle, get paid more than $20 million a year by Tennessee. We saw Jalen Moore, who was the backup in San Francisco, get $15 million a year from the Chiefs. I just think Rasheed Walker, even if he's just okay, like we need just okay on our offensive line if we are starting from scratch. At right tackle, I will go with Juwan Taylor, who is being cut by the Chiefs. Again, I think set expectations appropriately. You're going to see a lot of penalties. You're going to see some illegal formation calls, but we're getting a solid right tackle, probably for less than what he made with the Chiefs. I don't think he's going to get $20 million a year at right tackle. At center, I think the easiest pick on the board is going to be Tyler Linderbaum. Everything that's happening, no one has had a better last month than Tyler Linderbaum with the Ravens splintering around the NFL. So now the Giants, the Browns, the Chargers could all be in the Tyler Linderbaum discussion. The Bears, who have a lot of money now after the trades they've made, they are suddenly in the market for a top tier center. Tyler Linderbaum.
Can we also talk about real quick here,
so
Bill,
much
like the way the franchise tag works in the NFL,
Yes.
where it puts every offensive lineman in the same group, even though they play very different positions. And because centers don't get paid in this league the way left tackles do, it's really the main reason why Baltimore is not retaining him, right? Because I think the highest paid center, it would make him the highest paid center by like $7 million or something like that if they were to tag him this season. So because of that, they couldn't wrap their heads around it. And now he's going to hit the open market. And I just wonder if they're ever going to get to the point where they understand that it's not just 5'6'4", 320-pound guys that are all the same and interchangeable. It makes it a wonky situation. I feel like the Ravens kind of got banged there a little bit.
Yes, but it's not like they didn't know that was coming when they drafted a center in the first round. Like, I think you have to prepare for that inevitability. That if the guy's good, you're not only can't franchise him, but you can't even pick up his 5th-year option because you know where the market's going. The Ravens, if it were the Raiders, I would assume they just don't know any better and just don't look forward that far. The Ravens are smart. The Ravens should know better. And so I think that was one of the risks they had to run. I mean, you're right, but I don't think there's like going to be an aggressive push to change that any more than there was an aggressive push to change things when Jimmy Graham was getting the tight end franchise tag a decade ago with the Saints.
All right, let me hand the interior of the line, the 2 guards, over to Conor Orr, because I could tell he's got some bangers.
I like Elijah Vera Tucker for one of these spots because he also gives us a little bit of tackle flexibility. He did play tackle for a handful of games with the Jets there when they had some
give you some IR flexibility as well. That's
he may or may not last throughout the entire season. And then over at right guard is just kind of a pet favorite of mine. And you could go, I mean, there's some good vet guards in here, whether it's Joel Bitonio or Wyatt Teller, but I like Isaac Sumalo from the Steelers. I thought he was one of my favorite interior players last year and adds a little bit of nastiness there. And you slot him next to Juwan Taylor, maybe mitigate some of the mistakes and help keep him on track. So
the only change I would make, I want Joel Bitonio on this team, and it's not just Mark's Browns thing. It's like, if he doesn't retire, he's an Iron Man. I mean, he's almost Joe Thomas level Iron Man. He played very well last year, and this is the kind of team that's going to shock the league. And I think we need to put him somewhere where he experiences winning, and he raises a false Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah,
Batonio.
and I
handing
think,
out
you know,
lollipops here. We're trying to build a great
you
team.
want to, when you have David Njoku in the building, you want to have someone to welcome into the building. You want David Njoku, who we're building our roster around, to feel comfortable. And Joel Batonio does that.
It's true. Like if I'm really on an Njoku Island, on a Njoku Mountain. Like half my thing is I don't want you ever to think about the Cleveland Browns ever again. So the Batonio thing makes me a little nervous. We could kick him. We could kick him wherever we want, Mark. We as our swing tackle, we kick him.
He could play any
guard,
position.
Kick him to tackle. You could kick him, Mark. So that's good. You could kick him. All right, that's good. Let's take a break, and then we'll do the defensive side of the ball when we get back. All right, welcome back. Offensive side. Let's take a look at this real quick, okay? We got Kyler at QB. Kirk Cousins giving us that dad energy that we need. Running back Kenneth Gainwell and the Bavarian Basher, Tyler Algier. At running back, wide receiver, I like this group. Mike Evans, Alec Pierce, Romeo Dobbs. We got Njoku. I like that Njoku at tight end.
We know you do.
We got at offensive line, Rasheed Walker and Juwan Taylor as the bookends. Vera Tucker. By the way, the rule of LOL Jets is that Vera Tucker will absolutely destroy wherever he ends up next year.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, just like Mekhi Becton. And then the forces of gravity will take hold and probably level things out. But that first year, you want AVT, first year post-Jets. Linderbaum, home run at center. Samalo at right guard. And then we got Batonio,
Swing depth. We've labeled him.
we have him. That's our Make-A-Wish pick. All right. Defense. Sessy, you want to get us going on defensive end?
Yep. I know where everyone wants to go, but I'm going to pick one of my favorite players to watch in the entire NFL, and it's Jalen Phillips. This guy, it's just like on Sundays when you're watching 5 games at once, that Jalen Phillips always with the Dolphins seemed to be doing something total havoc-inducing, and he was a perfect fit for the Eagles. I think he fits all types of schemes. He's right in his prime, and I'm willing to pay that kind of player a lot of money to come in and be a major force on our defense up front.
I love the passion in which you speak, Mark, and that makes me excited. I love this pick. Anybody, any dissenters?
No, I like that.
No dissent. We need to make sure we invest really heavily in our medical facilities for this team. We're taking a lot of flyers on guys who their injury histories are not exactly making me feel secure with our 22-man roster.
We're going to have a great staff, and we will also have some, we're going to buy Toradol in bulk, and we're going to get some scientists out of Germany, and other Eastern
out of
European
Bavaria,
countries.
perhaps.
Yeah, we've got a Bavarian
Shift them
connection.
over and be like, hey, here's the drug testing of this league. We want you to find ways around it. We want to keep these guys on the field. Okay? It's going to be like that HBO series that the NFL got canceled. Or was it ESPN that got it canceled? Let's not talk
Playmakers.
about it. It never happened.
No comment.
Right, Bill? All right. The other defensive end, Conor.
Can I fill out one of the defensive tackle spots
go ahead.
first?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Because one of my favorite players in the NFL just so happens to be a veteran free agent this year at defensive tackle, and that's Sheldon Rankins. I think he's one of the best table-setting defensive tackles in the NFL. I did a really fun film session with him over at SI where we watched some of his tape together, and he kind of walked me through some of the decision-making that he would do on different plays. And the way that he's able to understand the other players on the line and just kind of put himself in a position where maybe your elite edge rushers can rush the passer better, or any of these kind of things, right? Plus he's an incredible effort player too, really smart, former first round pick. So I like Sheldon Rankins here, and so does D'Amico Ryans, so I can't be wrong.
All right. I like that pick. Very solid.
Got my vote.
I'm taking notes of all these quality players that were ex-Jets, but we don't have them anymore. So why don't I throw in John Franklin Myers?
Nice.
Is he still available? I think he is, as our other DT. I think it's Bill, you pointed out, not a robust market at DT, but this guy was underrated player on the Jets. He went to Denver, and he played well for them. He's entering, I think this is his age 30 season, but I think he's got tread on the tires, 7.5 sacks, 15 knockdowns. That's a pretty good front so far. Thoughts on this grouping?
I like it.
All right.
I like it. I not much at defensive tackle, so I think Franklin Myers was the best one out there. Rankin's really good player, totally on board with our defensive tackle choices.
Are we sure that this thing? Somebody had mentioned, Bill had mentioned the injury thing. Like, we need the Matt Stafford Airstream thing parked.
Oh, yeah,
right
we're getting
outside.
Airstream.
Yeah, we need the
multiple.
Airstream. Yeah,
We need
okay.
multiple.
I told you we're getting the Bavarian doctors that are a little bit immoral.
We're gonna be blood spinning.
Doctors
Yes.
and nurses.
All sorts of blood spinning methods,
Blood
everything, things that are going to be, put it this way, our team, when they get the blood work, the league, for their testing, they're going to be totally baffled. They're going to be like, we know this is probably not legit, but there's nothing we can do right now. In the off season, we will. But for the time being, this hideous Frankenstein monster of a team is by the book legal.
Push it down the
I've
road.
never seen this before. Your blood type is Bavarian.
What was the name of the? We should give him a shout out because he went on to win fucking MVP. What was the Airstream company that Matthew Stafford used in the summer?
Immortal Corp.
Oh, it was so evil. That's right. Immortal
And
Corp.
I think like we never really came back to this, but there's like a whole like trend in the like healthcare, whatever, like what do you call it when you take care of yourself? Red light
Wellness?
therapy. Wellness, yeah, self-wellness, whatever the hell. Red light therapy, and that's all Matthew Stafford was doing, was sitting in like a red light therapy chamber getting,
Well, that's
you
what
know,
they told us.
Well,
We weren't inside of it,
What,
but
guys,
yes.
Yeah.
we're building this facility. We're just going to have a red light locker room. We're just going to be bathing the entire
Yeah.
locker room in red light.
Just
Yeah.
bathe
I don't see
everyone
why
in red
not.
light.
We're gonna have that thing where those type of Venetian blinds, I think they're called. When people are walking down the alley, we're gonna have all our scientists in the lab coats working on stuff. And if a stranger turns the corner, somebody pulls the blinds.
Yep.
That's what's going on with this team. All right.
Light switch flips from red light to natural light. It's easy.
What are you talking about? Everything's fine. All right.
Everything's fine.
Bill, are we overthinking this one? Is it Trey Hendrickson at the other edge, or is there someone else you want to throw out there?
I'm going to throw someone else out there.
Okay.
I'm going to throw Odafe Owe. out
Nice.
there. We are trying to find upside here. Trey
Okay,
Hendrickson
good
is a
job.
really good player, but he's in his mid-30s, coming off of an injury hit year. He's going to make a ton of money. Odafe Owe proved himself with the Chargers last year. He had a really great half season. I know the Ravens didn't really love what they saw from him. They traded him mid-year, but 18 and a half sacks, I believe, over the last 2 seasons. Young player, still emerging, great athlete. I do think our to-be-determined coaching staff can get the most out of him.
I like the pick. I think you've talked about the fact that maybe it's the Ravens themselves that might want to get him back, but
Yeah.
this is going to be put out on social media, and it's the kind of situation where people are going to freak out without looking at the actual program, and I love that aspect of it. Where's
Here's the
Trey
thing.
Hendrickson? People are going to be asking.
They're not going to understand the fact that we don't have a clearly dominant edge player in free agency at all. And so we need to do something similar to what the Seahawks did, where can you find 4 guys who can play together enough to create the illusion of pressure? And so that's why I think that's why I think this pick is perfect.
Front 4 snack pack.
Yeah.
By the way, we running a 3-4-4-3.
I was going to
We're
say,
very flexible, aren't we?
I was going to ask you to take out one of the inside linebackers and add an extra corner there.
Yeah, we're doing the John Schneider, the Mike McDonald. We're living in nickel here.
Yeah.
We're daring teams to run on us.
All right, good. So who's going to man the middle of the defense? Connor, throw somebody out there.
I think that I'm going to die on this hill. I know I'm hogging 2 picks here, but if I can't have Devin Lloyd and Caden Ellis, I don't want to be a part of this team.
Okay.
And specifically, Caden Ellis is one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL. He's going to help the pass rush. He's one of the best blitzing linebackers and probably the best blitzing inside linebacker in free agency. So that's my fact.
I think some people might mention Devin Bush, and we're not putting another X Brown on here, but secondly, was that a creation to some degree of Jim Schwartz? He had his best couple of years there, but we can't have 2 Devins at linebacker. That's a little too cute for what we're up to here.
Yeah.
The Devin the Dudes defensive group for the for our team. I'm okay with those moves. I thought about maybe Eric Wilson, who I think was so good for the Vikings last year. I kind of out of nowhere, 17 tackles for loss, just destroyed Jahmyr Gibbs and a bunch of other guys in pass pro. Just like a super underrated player. But I think Ellis is a really good blitzer, like you said, really effective, and especially a lot of, with defenses want to use those guys as green dogs now. They want to blitz them. They want to run some pressures off of that. I think he's a really good fit, and I think he's going to be a really valuable player for us.
No love for Alex Anzalone, by the way. That long blonde mane. I know another guy that's older. I'm on board with them. Initially, there was some pushback from the old Zeuser about getting players that have upside versus some proven veterans. I don't want to push for another 30-something player, though, so I'll stand down.
That's fair.
Thank you, Dan.
I'll stand down.
Respectful.
All right. How about Bill? Give us who's our starting cornerbacks. Give us the 2 cornerbacks we want.
2 cornerbacks, man. Okay. I'm going to go with Jalen Watson on one side of the field. He's given up 1 touchdown over the past 2 seasons.
This team's pretty
really
good, by
tackler.
the way. Am I crazy?
They
Pretty
do look
good.
good.
It's not bad.
I think we can win a bunch of games. Jalen Watson's not going to be like a guy who's going to shadow your top receiver in man. He didn't have to do that for the Chiefs, but he's played a bunch of man with Spags doing his crazy blitzes. He's not like a McDuffie where he's going to be blitzing himself a ton, but good tackler, good run defender, pretty solid in coverage. I just think a really underrated guy. I think because he was a 7th round pick, doesn't get the same hype that other cornerbacks do, but to me, a legit, if not a number 1 corner, like a way above average number 2 corner. And I think that's probably where you're going to max out in free agency. And then my other starting outside corner, I'm betting on upside again. I'm going with Rick Woolen. I know that it's been up and down in Seattle, but there's just not a lot of dudes on the planet who have Rick Woolen's athleticism at that size. I'm trusting, even if he gives up a couple big plays here and there, he's going to lock guys down. He has number 1 upside. He's been that caliber of player at different times over his run in Seattle. And I just think we can keep him focused with the successful red light locker room we have here in whatever city we're facing this team in.
Then people are worried about the power station for the 49ers. This team is going to be, it's a major SI cover story, Conor, potentially, about the long-term effects of being on this particular team. Justin, did you have something you wanted to add? Because I had pointed out that I thought the team was quite talented player-wise.
Oh, yeah, I was just, when you said that, my first thought was, sure, but is this team under the cap? I mean, are we going like $20 million a year at every player?
Well, we got
We're
about
ignoring
$305 million. But remember, our quarterback is on the
That's
books
true.
for $1.5 million this year, which gives us incredibly $1.3 million, I believe, is going to be the veteran minimum owed with the Cardinals on the hook for so much. I think that's going to be a huge advantage for this squad.
Also, by the way, if we're leaning into Bavarian blood spinning,
Sure, and we are.
We are.
and Alex Guerrero led medical.
He's
device,
all over this facility.
We're probably going to be skimming some money off the top, I would assume. I assume this is not going to be a by the books financial operation.
Did I mention that we're bringing in as a consultant Steve Ballmer to give us more options how to spread the money around? He's an ideas man.
We only have 22 players, so we're going to be fine cap-wise.
Yeah.
That's true. Forgot about that.
Guys making the minimum.
All right, let's see. Mark, do you have a nickel that you like?
How about Alante Taylor from the Saints? Plays a lot of inside and out. He's 27. I kind of like the idea of another younger type player in his prime. He did really well in Brandon Staley's defense. So this is a 3rd corner. This is my pick.
Like him.
I like
totally
this.
on board with that.
Yeah. My only thought was, can we sneak Brian Cook in as a big nickel and then get 2 of the other safeties if we like the safeties? Or are we just going to kick Brian Cook down to safety? Because Cook, he played like 120 snaps in the slot last year. I'm just, but I think Taylor's probably our best pure nickel, has the most experience there.
We could play Cook at strong safety. I think good defenses want to have some level of interchangeability in that nickel spot between, can you play Brian Cook there if you're in your base defense? Can you play big nickel? I mean, flexibility is good.
Let's throw him in that strong safety spot. Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Super underrated player.
Good job. That means one more spot. Who's our big play man on
Who's
the
our
back end
last
of this
line of
defense?
defense?
Bill, what do you got?
I feel like you've not made a pick in forever, Dan.
I like passing it around. I let's see. You want me to throw somebody out?
I do.
Well, I don't want to let you down, Bill. So. How about Kobe Bryant?
I like it. That was going to be my pick.
Great.
You nailed it.
Kobe Bryant. Good. One of the many wonders of Mike McDonald's. Moved to free safety over the past couple of years. Super great passer rating coverage this past year. Safety passer rating coverage stats don't mean much, but the numbers back up what you see on tape. He's a very solid free safety.
Do we have any concerns that, and we're all in agreement that Mike McDonald is a genius at defense, or is at the peak of his powers, that he would be okay with these players leaving the building? Does it say something about them? And now we're the likes of Woolen and Bryant. Any issues there?
We've got to make some tough choices. If you're the Seattle Seahawks, you can't keep everybody, and certainly doesn't preclude them from re-signing some of these guys. We don't know if they're going to maybe bring back some of these guys by the time we actually get to free agency. So
that's true.
I do think, you always want to be a little wary, but if we're using those guys in the same roles they had in their prior spots, I feel pretty good about it. If we're moving Bryant back into the slot as a quarterback, then we're going to be in trouble. We're not.
I think also we can't allow the limiting beliefs of another organization to infiltrate our Bavarian scheme here.
Very well said. Yes. What is up with it? And this is right across the board, including Bill Barnwell. We don't have any kicker free agency. Like, we don't have any rankings there. Like, do we really not in 2026 still not understand the value of the place kicker? How come we don't get a category? How come we don't get a breakdown? I want 1,000 words from Bill on the kicker market, but I don't have it.
Well, I did offense and defense as separate columns, and my contract at ESPN dictates that I have to have a minimum of 6,000 words in every single column. So it was either write 6,000 words on kickers, punters, and long snappers and returners, or leave that to the mind of the adventurous reader.
Wait, with this extra quarterback money that we have a burn in a hole through our pocket, do we have a chance to steal Brandon Aubrey away from the Cowboys?
You want to trade? We're going to trade a second-round pick to the Cowboys for Brandon Staley. Yeah.
I mean, he's a restricted free agent, right?
Yeah.
I love this move.
That would be
This is a violent coup d'etat. That's the category of this.
Yes. Let's just put in parentheticals rest of our cap space. Yes.
Rest of the negative $100 million we have. Yeah.
We're going to have to go cheap on punters, but I don't plan on punting a lot. Braden Mann.
We're just signing in Aussie rules. We're just
let's get a guy from Australia.
Yep, get creative.
And signing the best punter we see.
He won't understand the currency exchange anyway, so we're good. We could put
Tyler Algier could punt
is
for us
starting this weekend.
Find somebody from the AFL, the Wizard. We'll call up TW Sharon.
Unknown Aussie rules.
We just inserted also Joel Bitonio as our long snapper, so the versatility.
Let's make sure put league minimum next to the punt return. He doesn't know the currency exchange probably. Let's really screw him.
We're really taking advantage.
Who was the long snapper for the Lions for 19? Don Mulbach, right? And then they cut him finally. He's 48. We could bring. He's probably not doing anything.
Bring back Mulbach. Mulbach.
Maybach Mulbach.
Yeah, Maybach Mulbach. Bring him back.
Well, you just took a roll away from Joel Bitonio there, Connor. Thanks a lot for a guy who's sitting on his couch.
Bitonio's grip on a roster spot is tenuous, Mark. I think it's clear.
It's something to watch.
All right, I think that's a team, right? We missing anything?
Love it.
Should we name it too? I mean, I just feel like an ownership over it now. I love this group.
It's got to go with our Bavarian roots. I think.
Just something.
The Bavarian hedonists,
like German, but not troublingly so.
It's got to be the Bavarian pretzels.
Oh shit!
No matter what else we did, that's all you could think about. So that's a winner.
Yeah, that's true. All concessions will be pretzels. And no beverages. Just so many dry mouths.
Pretzel based. I mean, you go to And Auntie Anne's, I don't know if they're a sponsor, but Auntie Anne's, they got the pretzel dog.
They are now.
They got pretzel pizza.
It's safe to say they are not a sponsor. Yes, but let's offer Roy Rogers only. So if you want to drink Roy Rogers in the concession area, otherwise no.
Just water for me. But if it was the off season, I would definitely join them in having a Roy Rogers. It's my favorite beverage, a Roy Rogers. It's the best beverage there is.
We drink it for beverage
Yeah.
twice too. Like, what is that? That's not human.
This satisfies one of my wildest dreams, which is to purchase an NFL franchise and then just make it suit all of my bizarre pet fascinations and stuff. Like it'd be like going into like Howard Hughes's house. It's just all this wild shit, and you're just like, who is this person who owns the team? It's like, we're only gonna serve pretzels and drink like cherry seltzer water. Like
It's like there's crazy people in charge here.
And every year we're going to sign 22 new free agents.
This is something you literally do on Madden as an adult, Connor. We know that.
Yeah.
We've known that for years. So.
Facts. Yeah.
All right, Bill Barnwell, ESPN. What could they? Where can they get the latest Barnwell? What's the stuff we should be pointing the hedonists to?
I got a column coming up on these the trades we've seen this week. DJ Moore trade that I think you guys are going to discuss. The Trent McDuffie trade, that stuff's coming out, and then I believe I'm going to be writing about this. I don't know if anyone else has had this idea before. I think I'm the first one. I'm going to pick winners and losers for free agency next week. That's a thing I came up with.
That's
Ultimate,
allowed?
if it ain't broke, don't
That's
fix
allowed?
it.
Not just winners and losers.
Yeah.
Been writing about that for ESPN.com.
Like 65% to 85% of the concepts for this podcast is just like winners and losers, but not called that. So
Couched into something else. Well, Bill, could you sneak in a blurb on the Bavarian pretzels as winners inside an ESPN column?
200 words. Even
I'll
a
give it
reference.
my best shot.
Yeah. All right. We'll be
check
checking
it
it
out.
out. And you will check it out, Hedonist. Bill, thank you so much, buddy. And of course, check out the Bill Barnwell Show, his own NFL podcast that we heartily endorse. Have a great one, buddy. Thank you again.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Dan.
All right, stay right there. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to hit the news before saying goodbye. All right, we are back. Got some news to hit. But before we do that, Mark, I don't know if you saw that your buddy Myles Garrett got pulled over once again for speeding.
I did.
Can you believe that? 9 speeding tickets since 2017?
Well, it's not 10.
That's true. Not double digits, at least not yet. But with that said, Mark, from the home offices of Minot, North Dakota, the category today, top 10 reasons Myles Garrett keeps getting speeding tickets. Good seg, Mark? Yeah, you're nice.
I mean, let's see.
Number 10. He heard his girlfriend was about to do a press junket without him.
Okay.
I'll hold for applause. Please. Justin. It's supposed to be laughter. Let's get this right, please. There we go. Now I feel good. Number 9, Connor.
The poetry slam ends at 5 p.m., but he didn't get out of practice until 4:30.
Okay.
Number 8. It's never too early to take out the quarterback graveyard decorations for Halloween.
That's good. Strong list so far.
Connor, number 7.
He was in a rush to check out the Mason Rudolph and Me interactive exhibit at the Great Lakes Science Center.
Gotta get there. Gotta get to the GLSC.
Oh, my God.
Number 6. He promised he would help Joe Burrow move after Joe did that big favor for him in Week 18. Connor, number 5.
He lives his life by one motto. Badass boys drive badass toys.
Got it. True story. I worked at Walgreens, and I worked with a guy that had that on the back of his Trans Am. And would park diagonal to take up 2 spots so nobody
Well,
could...
that latter part is extremely ponderous.
Number 4. The howling voices from the Indian burial ground beneath the Browns team facility told him to drive far away from here.
Checks out.
Number 3, Connor.
He's starving and has to drive all the way to Indianapolis to find a decent restaurant.
I don't think that is not true of Cleveland, but fair enough.
Number 2. Deshaun Watson said he was coming over for a massage. Ew!
It's number 2.
Got to get out of town when you get that message. And the number 1 reason Myles Garrett keeps getting speeding tickets. Connor Orr, do us the honors.
He knows that Dan will use it as fodder to annoy Mark.
Well, so hold on. First of all, like there are things that bubble up when we're not on screen together. Like this broke when we were not. And the first thing I know is that it's going to turn into some sort of jabbing at Mark's psychology in a set-alone segment. And I have to say, though, this was really well written. And you landed, I think, 9 out of 10 of them, which is a higher percentage than 80% of the Letterman top 10s I ever watched. It was. I really can't get like agitated by it because.
So then we kind of failed in a way, you know?
Here's the thing. We're either going to go down Myles Garrett Avenue or we're going to poke fun at something Mark is wearing or the fact that Mark lives in an apartment. That is so impossible to perceive or lives in a certain part of town. So I'll take the Myles Garrett. I don't think we needed a laugh track on that. Like, I'll take the Myles Garrett side of things. And, you know, I looked something up because if you, I don't know how you keep getting away with this if you're him. If you get 9 speeding tickets in Ohio in a certain amount of time, and maybe he spread them out, but it feels like this just happened not too long ago. You get your license suspended, heavily fined. That doesn't matter to him. Potential jail time and a criminal record. Like, how many times can you speed?
Wait, are you insinuating, Mark, that wealth and fame provide some with privilege?
I am insinuating that, but it's like, what at this point are the cops and what's the interaction between Myles Garrett and this largely like county's police force having to deal with this guy?
They have to know him like on a first name basis, even if he wasn't a football player at this time. He's like, Myles, I mean, bro, again?
Right.
Yeah.
I know I've been hard on Myles the last couple weeks, but I have to just jump in here and say 90 and a 70 is not a big deal. It's just not. I mean, with the flow of traffic, if you're not in a passing lane, you know, I've done that on accident in the TNC with 3 sleeping kids in the back.
It's not 124 and a 70, which is right. Some of these. Like,
totally
yeah,
agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great job.
Left you in a corner there, Dan.
And there is no fucking way the TNC can get up to 90 without a couple bolts shaking free. Those kids are being woken up by some type of rattling once it hits above 65.
It would like Back to the Future to 1945.
The new tires have been a game changer for us. I'm just saying.
Here we go again with the tires.
Just saying.
For now.
For now is right. All right.
What's the limit on this, by the way, before you guys can't claim victory on the fact that you think that this is an irresponsible choice for a family vehicle?
All right,
like,
that's
how
a fair
long does
question.
this have to, like, this is like when a team drafts a running back
right.
and it's like, well, he has to play 10 years before we can say it's the right thing to do, you know? How
right.
long does the TNC have to last?
All right, I'll use the analogy.
10 years.
Yeah, I was going to say
10 years for 2016 that I paid next to nothing for.
I want to say, like, as somebody, like, I get frustrated that, you know, the Jets are the punching bag of the league, right? Like, but I can't, there's nothing you could do about it. You got to win. Go win 10 games of the season, and maybe it will stop. We need the TNC to survive 10 years.
10 years
Yes.
for 2016.
That
Okay.
feels fair, Connor, right?
Fair.
Wait. It has already survived 10 years. It's a 2016.
Right.
In
10
your
years from the time you
stead,
bought-
under your
so
supervision.
I need to have a successful 20-year-old used vehicle before you guys will drop
Correct.
this shit?
Correct.
Yes, that sounds right.
Phenomenally fair. Sounds like, yeah.
It's a ticking time bomb on 4 wheels. 4 very
even ask,
high
like-
quality wheels.
You wouldn't even ask of that of like an Accord. Like a Honda Accord's not responsible unless it lasts 20 years. It's ridiculous.
It's like, what do you think of Connor's car? It's got a hell of a set of tires. I'll tell you that.
Unbelievable.
The Chiefs have made a trade. Hey, by the way, little Barry Horowitz action. Said on the last show, the Rams are going to be fun. They're going to do some spicy stuff, not just with their 2 draft picks, first-round picks, not just necessarily with signings. Watch out for trades. They are right there. The window is wide open. What was their biggest need? Back end. They needed cornerback help, and they get a star, Trent McDuffie. The Chiefs send the cornerback to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams send one of their first-round picks to the Chiefs, but importantly, not their earlier first-round pick. So the pick, I guess, it's their own pick, not
Their
the
own
one
pick.
they got from the
29.
Falcons
Right.
in the draft last year. So number 29 overall goes back to the Chiefs. They also get 5th and 6th round picks in this draft, and then a 3rd rounder next year. So that is substantial draft capital going to Kansas City, and the Rams get a star mark in the back end of their secondary.
The thing I love about Les Snead is he basically broadcast this crystal clear before it happened, like to the point where I was like, was the deal basically already done? He said, we are in the absolute mode to go get an all-pro player with one of our first-round picks, and our biggest need is outside corner. So mission accomplished. And while I really like the trade for Kansas City as well, based on where they are, this to me is the Rams, and you got to give it to them because they've done it before. Like, it is the all-in mission for a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. This was arguably their biggest need. But they didn't, as in years past, have to go wipe out their entire first round and not have a first round next year. It's like they are giving up their draft pick for what would be the number 1 free agent in this class, I believe. And they went and got it the only way that you could. And it could have happened closer to the draft or something, but the Rams just went and did it. And they're very intentional. And Les Snead has zero fear of just saying, we're going to do this, and we go do it. And that's the Rams.
I mean, would anybody be surprised if they trade the other first-round pick, too? If they see a veteran that they value? This is the F them picks, Rams, of course. Or, Connor, they could go and use that other asset in the first round to get what they believe to be a top cornerback as a young player, and you pair him with a veteran that's proven with pelts on the wall in McDuffie, and you have one of the best young cornerback rooms in the league suddenly. It can happen that quickly.
I mean, it's just an incredible amount of flexibility that you build in, and it says everything, like Mark's point about where you feel like you're at. And this is where they should be. This is what they should be doing. I mean, Matt Stafford played at an MVP level, but I think the back injury, was a realistic wake-up call that we are in the latter Brady years where let's not replicate the mistakes that Bill Belichick did and believe that this is some sort of sustainable goldfish of a being that just needs to be peppered with little flakes every now and then. Like, we need all the stops. We need to pull all of it out all the time, and we can't be in November and watching another team pick on Emmanuel Forbes and body him on a down-to-down basis. It just can't happen anymore.
And, like the 2016 TNC, the wheels can come flying off here at any moment at the quarterback position, and you're taking that gamble, and it's worth the gamble because he played at such a high level last year, Stafford. So you say, you know what? Even if he's not as good as he was last year, which was off the charts incredible, we'll put him back into that Airstream trailer. We'll shoot some rays at him, and we'll get another top 10 year from him. And now we just made the team around him better. beautiful move. A+, I think, for the Rams and the Chiefs. You know, we trust that organization to do the most with those. But that's not the first time the Chiefs have done this either, right, Conor? Like we saw them do it with Tyreek Hill in the past. They do it with McDuffie now. They trade a guy when his value is at its highest, and you just keep building the team that way. But you do lose a lot of talent. That's a drain in your secondary.
L'Jarius Sneed too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They seem against paying major cornerbacks that second plus contract. They've done it multiple times.
All right. Another trade, another big one. Another one I like. The Chicago Bears are working to finalize a deal that would send wide receiver DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills. The Bills would get Moore and a 5th-round pick. Chicago would get a 2nd-round pick back. And if this goes down, it's a big upgrade, Conor. I feel, obviously, for the Bills wide receiver room. I do say, like, to both sidesism of it all, we all have so much respect for Ben Johnson. And if Ben Johnson decides that DJ Moore is someone that is expendable, does that take away a little shine off Moore, in your opinion, as a player? What do you think about this trade?
Well, it confuses me heading into free agency, because I know that the Bears have a lot of cap space, and we all thought maybe Linderbaum was an option for them because Dahlman just retired. We heard that they were in the mix for Max Crosby, which I think they very much are, even though I don't think he's going to end up going there. But maybe is Ben Johnson's desire to put his stamp more heavily on the receiver room and to get the guys that he wants. I mean, he inherited DJ Moore. They drafted Luther Burden, who's their number 1 wide receiver at this point. I don't think that remains the case. And so I am curious if a lot of that cap space ends up going to a wide receiver.
I do wonder if it's the Max Crosby side of things too. But if you're Ben Johnson, like Luther Burden finished last season number 1 in every relevant receiving Bears metric. And then you had Colston Loveland emerge. You got Rome Odunze. So I think it's a classic case of like DJ Moore just was the guy who had basically his worst season last year in Ben Johnson's offense. I don't know if it's like, if I'm the Bills, the one thing I'd say, Dan, is like, keep the foot on the accelerator. Unlike Myles Garrett or like him, like, don't just assume this is the end of your wide receiver search. Like, I like the addition, but I do think there's a little mystery about where DJ Moore is in terms of producing a monster year. I don't think that's where we're going.
I mean, I'm looking at his career stats now. He's a little more consistent than I realized during the Panthers tenure of his career, where he had averaged about 1,200 yards a year for his last 3 of his last 4 seasons there. In Chicago, he had 96 catches in 23 for 1,364 yards and 8 touchdowns, 98 catches in 2024, shade under 1,000 receiving, which is interesting, less than 10 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns. And then you saw in 17 games, guy doesn't miss games either. He's very durable. He had 50 catches, less than 700 yards, but did find the end zone 6 times in a very different offense last year. You know what he is? He's somebody that come August, when you're drafting in fantasy, a lot of people are going to have different opinions on him. And some will see him as somebody you have to target and go get early in a draft. But you don't know how he jives with that offense. At the same time, Josh Allen, given a shiny toy to play with, he could be an all-pro in that offense. He's a tough one to figure out. It's an interesting trade.
It also just makes me wonder quickly. I mean, Buffalo is opening a new stadium. They've hired a new head coach. They're on a PR blitz, clearly, to kind of, reset the end of the Sean McDermott era. And this is we say every year is a Super Bowl or bust season, but it is. This, to me, spells a very interesting evaluation from one general manager about the wide receiver market in particular. A.J. Brown is available. Mike Evans is a free agent. And it's interesting that they went to go get DJ Moore, who did play with Joe Brady in Carolina, so there's some familiarity there schematically. But that we've seen a GM come out and kind of put that first stamp on, this is what I think of the wide receiver class, and I'd rather somebody else.
It's also the team with the second worst cap situation,
right,
from where we stand today.
Speaking of the Bills and keeping the foot on the accelerator, a former Josh Allen teammate that was very productive in his time in Buffalo is back on the market. It is Stefon Diggs. The New England Patriots decided to cut ties with the receiver after 1 year. Less about his play on the field, which is actually very good with Drake May, but more because of his salary and the way that contract was put together. It was kind of put together as a 1 year deal, and now there's a lot of money that was coming due to Diggs that didn't make sense for a receiver of his age and injury status background. And also, he has some legal issues now that we've talked about on the show that have perked up. Added all together, and New England said this is not a contract that we feel comfortable staying in. Your guys' thoughts on Stefon Diggs on the open market and what you would be comfortable with, Mark?
I think it's a sign that New England may go after an Alec Pierce, but I think Diggs can still help. He showed last year that he can help a team. It's going to be a string of where however long he plays 1 year deals. I feel like the Bills would have been a good spot for him, and New England wasn't a bad spot, and he kind of burned out. But both of those bridges are gone, so it's going to be somewhere else. But I think he's got another year or two in him to produce. I don't like him a lot less than DJ Moore, to be honest.
His salary cap charge was set to rise from $10.5 million to $26.5 million. So there you go. And he posted on Instagram, "Thank you for a hell of a year. We family forever, Conor."
He's got quite a large family if you count it up.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Anything to add on this one, Conor?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think New England's going to try to, I think it says something that Mike Vrabel did a year of that and was like, okay, I'm good. No need to try to rework this. I'm looking in a different direction.
Right. We haven't heard anything like, oh, the Patriots want to keep him. It's just not on this contract. It seems like they're like, we were good.
Yeah,
it works.
That.
Let's see.
Or A.J. Brown.
And speaking of Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, you're not going to believe this, Mark, but it doesn't look like that one's going to go the distance.
Well, I need to see proof of that.
All right, here you go. Here's Cardi B on stage, a recent concert where she prefaced one of her performances with a little monologue that seemed pointed at the veteran wide receiver.
That song is called The Principle. You can't be out here playing with a bitch like me. This is out here praying for a bitch like me. You hear me? Too sexy to be lonely and too grown to be playing with. Who you playing with, motherfucker? I ain't never had a bad bitch like this.
All right.
Never in your
Thank you, Cardi B.
life.
Okay,
None
Justin.
of them.
On
Mark,
and on she goes.
How much? What if I paid you $100 to get across your back? Okay, from shoulder blade to shoulder blade. I'm too sexy to be lonely and too grown to be played with.
$100. A tattoo costs that would cost like $400.
Defray the cost.
I'll heavily consider it because of the strength of the message that she portrayed there. I took her message. It's like, I'm not going to go try to interact with her at all. I'm good.
Okay. Good stuff.
One of you try.
Hey, a reminder, next week's a big one. We're going to be live all week at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, live reacting to the free agency period that kicks off in earnest on Monday. So we'll be there for every development. And like I said, we'll be live. So jump in the stream and ask questions, be in the mix, and we will have free agency covered in a way that other podcasts would absolutely die to have the ability to do. Like, they can't, though. They can't do what we can do. Right, Conor?
There's no fucking way.
And
Very
Connor's on another podcast, so that says like a lot. So.
Yeah, except for the other one that I do with Albert. Yes, there's no way.
Plug your podcast, Conor, because it's excellent, and so is Albert Breer.
The MMQB podcast, and we did a fun thing today on the episode. We did a draft of the shit that we didn't get to do during the season that we now have to do. So like, cleaning up the lawn, hanging up different things, And it was supposed to be like 10 minutes, and it turned into like a 45-minute thing. It was very cathartic about us, complaining about life.
Now, I very easily can see you, Conor, tending to your property and blood, sweat, and tears. But Albert, for some reason, I don't see him in the same way. That there might be some help that he's getting, or he's watching from the porch drinking a lemonade. And I mean that as a compliment. He seems like someone that is going to tell people how to maintain his property, not be in the mud. You know what I mean? Or is that unfair of me to go there?
He did drop the fact that there is a Breer landscaper, and which made me question in the middle of the podcast what each of us gets paid to do that, knowing what a landscaper costs. So.
Well, check out the Monday Morning QB podcast and make sure to be back right here on Monday when we will begin to dig in on the new league year. All over. We got you covered. And check out the Patreon Friday Fun Show, new Sessler newsletter. The Throwback Podcast is back next week with Bob and I, covering our college years. God, I miss college. All right, till next time, do what you must. Heed the call.